What if? What if your machine learning model fails in practice? Well, you're not alone. You're one of the many. Every single day, many startups try to reinvent their business through technology, through artificial intelligence. And while in theory many algorithms works fine, in practice many times they fail. And that's one of the reasons why startups may seem slow to adapt new technologies and to innovate. It's because practice makes real challenges in developing and deploying such algorithms. While in theory algorithms may be simple to train, you have the right data, your model works fine, and you predict the right outcome. When you nail down in practice, many times they fail. Maybe there are unforeseen events which you couldn't predict in theory, or maybe you didn't have the right data to train your algorithm on in theory. So in practice, as new events come up, your algorithm fails. But what would you do at this point? Would you crash or would you keep going? I would say take stock of your situation and eventually keep going. Say you are working for a startup, maybe in the health sector, and you've developed an algorithm for cancer detection. And at this point in your startup career, you want to scale your startup by deploying the algorithm in practice. So your algorithm scans 100 people, and out of 100 people, 3 people have been detected to have cancer. So at this point, as you're training your algorithm, you nail down and you want to see whether such 3 people have cancer or not. And maybe just one out of these 3 people has cancer. So, you know, you're not that satisfied because just one out of 3 is the one who has cancer. But what would you do at this point? I would suggest, try to nail down and understand how far you've got, because maybe out of 3 people, just one having cancer is not that satisfying, but you've already scanned 100 people, so maybe you just have to look manually at 3 people instead of 100, and that's way better than scanning 100 people manually, which takes much longer, and it might not allow to scale your startup as fast as you wish. So I would suggest personally to merge human intuition with artificial intelligence and see whether you could improve your performance by analyzing data manually sometimes, especially when you have small data sets, and reach higher level tasks by nail down into the problem and eventually help the algorithm to perform, or maybe just support their algorithm in specific cases, and maybe at the same time, while the algorithm detects 3 times the people who have cancer, you've already nailed down the problem a lot, and you're in a good way to proceed and scale your startup.